Maleficent is a 2014 American fantasy film directed by Robert Stromberg, starring Angelina Jolie in the title role. The film was a commercial success, grossing over $758 million worldwide against a budget of $180 million, making it one of the highest-grossing films of 2014. It received mixed reviews from critics, who praised Jolie's performance, visual effects, and production design, but criticized the screenplay and pacing. Our story begins with a young girl named Maleficent. At just 10 or 12 years old, she was no ordinary child. With horns on her head and wings on her back, Maleficent was a fairy, a cute and innocent one living in a magical forest. This enchanted place was her entire world, a place she cherished deeply, and she had never ventured beyond its borders. In fact, she had never even seen a human before. One day, while exploring her beloved forest, Maleficent stumbled upon a small boy, roughly her age. Curious, she approached him and asked, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" The boy, a bit startled, explained that he came from a nearby kingdom and had found a diamond in the forest. He had taken it, but Maleficent gently retrieved the diamond from him and offered to escort him back to his kingdom. Before leaving, the boy asked, "Will you be my friend? Can I come back to play here?" Maleficent, with a smile, warned him that the forest was magical and not safe for humans, but she agreed to consider it. They shook hands, but as they did, Maleficent felt a strange sensation, a current, like a jolt, that came from the boy's iron ring. She quickly informed him that iron is harmful to fairies and advised him not to wear it if he ever returned. As time passed, the boy, whose name was Stefan, did return, and the two became good friends. They played together in the forest, unaware that they came from opposing worlds. Maleficent, who had always believed that humans were enemies of fairies, began to think differently. She saw goodness in Stefan and didn't realize the greed that lurked within him. Years went by, and as they grew older, their bond deepened. Maleficent, now 16, started to believe that not all humans were bad, but she was unaware of Stefan's hidden desires. One day, while pondering Stefan's absence, Maleficent recalled something he had said. "When I grow older, I will rule my kingdom and live in a grand castle." Little did she know, Stefan's ambitions were driven by greed. Soon after, a king from a neighboring kingdom arrived in the forest with a large army, intent on conquering it. Maleficent, now a powerful fairy, stood her ground and warned the king to leave. But the king, dismissive of her warning, ordered his army to attack. The forest, however, was no ordinary place. Strange creatures emerged to defend it, and the king's army was soon overwhelmed. Defeated and fearful, the king returned to his kingdom. But he was not done yet. Desperate to claim the treasure rumored to be hidden in the forest, he promised to marry his daughter to anyone who could defeat Maleficent. To everyone's surprise, Stefan stepped forward. He had not only grown up but had also grown more ambitious. He returned to the forest, seeking out Maleficent after many years. Maleficent, happy to see her old friend, asked why he had been gone so long and if he had forgotten their friendship. Stefan, with feigned sincerity, claimed he had been busy but had not forgotten her. He warned her that the king wanted to kill her, pretending to be concerned for her safety. Trusting Stefan, Maleficent let her guard down. But Stefan, driven by greed, betrayed her. He drugged Maleficent, and while she was unconscious, he could not bring himself to kill her. Instead, he did something equally cruel. He cut off her wings. When Maleficent awoke, she was devastated. Her wings, a symbol of her freedom and power, were gone. Heartbroken and betrayed, she wept for what she had lost. Stefan, meanwhile, returned to the king with Maleficent's wings, presenting them as proof of his victory. The king, pleased, rewarded Stefan by making him the new ruler of the kingdom. Stefan's dreams of power and wealth had come true, but at the cost of his humanity. In the forest, Maleficent, now wingless and heartbroken, wandered aimlessly. One day, she saw a hunter about to kill a crow. Unable to bear the cruelty, she used her magic to turn the crow into a human. The hunter fled in fear, and the crow, now human, thanked Maleficent for saving him. He pledged to serve her for the rest of his life. Maleficent, touched by his loyalty, accepted his offer and named him Diaval. Diaval became her loyal companion, bringing her news from the outside world. Through Diaval, Maleficent learned the full extent of Stefan's betrayal. He had taken her wings to become king. This revelation filled her with hatred for humans, and her trust in them was shattered. Stefan, now married to the king's daughter, had a child of his own, a daughter named Aurora. The birth of Aurora was celebrated throughout the kingdom, but far away in the forest, Maleficent was plotting her revenge. Maleficent crashed the celebration, casting a dark curse on the infant princess. She declared that on Aurora's 16th birthday, she would prick her finger on a spinning wheel and fall into a deep sleep, from which she would never awaken unless she received true love's kiss. Stefan, desperate to save his daughter, begged Maleficent to spare her. But Maleficent, still hurt and vengeful, told him that there was no escape from the curse. However, deep down, there was a glimmer of sympathy left in her. She added a condition: if Aurora found true love before the curse took effect, she would be saved. Fearing the worst, Stefan entrusted Aurora to 3 small fairies, asking them to take her far away until after her 16th birthday. Meanwhile, he tried to invade the forest to kill Maleficent, but she had fortified it with her magic, making it impossible for any human to enter. As Aurora grew, Maleficent watched over her from a distance. Despite her initial intentions, Maleficent couldn't help but develop a fondness for the girl. The fairies tasked with protecting Aurora were careless, and it was often Maleficent who saved her from danger. Over time, Aurora, who had never seen the outside world, grew curious about it. On the eve of her 16th birthday, she ventured out and met Maleficent, recognizing her as the one who had been watching over her all these years. To Maleficent's surprise, Aurora called her godmother and expressed her love for her. Maleficent, who had grown to care deeply for Aurora, tried desperately to reverse the curse she had placed, but it was too late. The curse was too powerful and couldn't be undone. On Aurora's 16th birthday, she pricked her finger on a spinning wheel and fell into a deep sleep, just as the curse had foretold. Stefan, now consumed by regret and fear, locked Aurora away, hoping to protect her. Maleficent, heartbroken, brought a young man who had shown interest in Aurora, hoping he might be her true love. But his kiss did nothing to wake her. Realizing that only true love could break the curse, Maleficent, filled with sorrow, kissed Aurora's forehead, bidding her farewell. To her astonishment, Aurora awakened. It was Maleficent's love that had broken the curse. Stefan, however, was not ready to let go of his grudge. He tried to trap Maleficent, but with her wings restored, she was unstoppable. In the final confrontation, Stefan fell to his death, ending his reign of greed and betrayal. With Stefan gone, the kingdom and the forest were united once more. Maleficent, now at peace, removed the barriers around the forest, allowing it to thrive again. She declared Aurora the queen of both the forest and the kingdom, bringing harmony to both worlds. And so, they all lived happily ever after, with the once broken Maleficent finding redemption through the power of love and forgiveness.